Good morning. Thank you very much indeed for coming over. I think you've been one of our customers just a minute or two ago at Dollywood stand, where they've just launched this wonderful new poster today. And I guess I want to talk a little bit about technology, and that technology is more than just in the ride experience. It's in the broader experience of your visit to the park. And I just want to share a few stats with you, which are kind of front and center in our minds as technology companies. And I guess the first thing I wanted to say was just the incredible explosion in mobile technology that's taking place all around us. And I guess most of us here have got a smartphone or a cell phone at least in our pocket. Did you know that next year there's going to be more active cell phones in the world than there are people? There's a thought. More cell phones than people. If we compare spending on cell phones, so to quarter three in North America, quarter three 2013, North Americans spent $53 billion on their smartphone. $53 billion. And that's like 25% up from the same quarter in 2012. So what we're seeing, and I'm guessing all of us, use technology to support our lives in one way or another. And what we're seeing absolutely that is happening in our industry here and now. And guests coming to the parks are used to using technology to give themselves a better experience, and they're doing exactly the same thing. They want exactly the same thing when they get to the theme park. So just a few stats for you in terms of some of the growth that we've seen this year. So we sell a lot of tickets online, as you know, for some of the bigger vendors. Our online ticket sales are up something like 350% this year. We sold 500,000 tickets on mobile devices this year. So guests engaging with the park, deciding what they want to buy, buying the ticket, and then turning up at the park and identifying themselves using a barcode on their cell phone, on their smartphone, as their ticket. 500,000, now that was up, like as I say, 350% over last year. This year we've had 2.75 million mobile apps downloaded from behalf of our customers. Again, up hundreds and hundreds of percent over last year. And we're also seeing an extraordinary increase, again, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of percent increase in people using their cell phones for things beyond simply just the ticket and entry. And in Accesso's case, our low queue products, so our queue time, our virtual queuing products, again, we're seeing, I think we're like 600% up year on year in terms of people using their cell phone as opposed to a proprietary device, a queue bot as we describe them. So, with that in mind, I just wanted to just kind of run through a few ideas with you. I think, for me, some of the surprises are just how quickly the industry is reacting to this change. Maybe before, we've seen the business systems have been at the heart of the technology decisions made by the big operators and groups. But I think this kind of new wave of technology change coming through is so pervasive, it touches everybody's lives, that actually the technology is being used and operators big and small want to use technology to change the guest experience beyond just the business systems that run their organizations. And that's everything from ticketing to time ticketing to queue line management to buying their food packages in advance to buying car parking to using their apps to find their friends in the theme park to engaging with social media to publishing photographs to sharing video to researching. People are using technology for all of that. And what's really interesting is where, again, previously we've seen the really, really big operators have been leading the charge with technology. Now we're seeing many, many smaller and independent operators. Because it's so much more accessible, and because a lot of people are engaged in technology and the use of certainly mobile technology, we're seeing operators big and small get involved in the space. And that's driving an enormous amount of innovation, which we think is incredibly positive for the whole industry and for the guest experience, because the best ideas will rise to the top. In terms of, I'm often asked to comment on the My Magic Band Plus, and Disney for sure, they set the benchmark across the industry for just a huge amount of the whole guest experience across our industry, and I think it's really interesting to see what they've done with Magic Band and Magic Band Plus. We think it's a fantastic system, and I think guests are gonna love it. However, I think if we go down a layer from that, I think that not everybody has the resources available to guest staying with you for 5 or 6 days, maybe the economics of the solution that you have to offer change, which is why the idea of bring your own device, so hitchhiking on the back of a consumer already has a device in their pocket by and large, where you can deliver services onto that platform rather than having to give everybody their own device, like a Magic Band. It seems to make a lot of sense to me. So I think, as you can see on some of the offerings that we're putting together today, and as you go around this extraordinary gathering of operators and suppliers in this room, there is a huge range of technology solutions available. RFID to GPS to smartphone applications and beyond. So I guess in terms of the headlines, that's kind of really what I wanted to share with you. Colossal growth, hundreds of % year on year. I don't think that's going anywhere soon. There's going to be more cell phones than people by the end of next year. This year, quarter on quarter, quarter three, 25% growth in spend to $53 billion just in North America. So as a kind of as a sales channel for operators, I don't think operators can ignore it. I think they have to rise to the challenge, and it's really interesting that everybody is big and small. So I've been shouting at you. I'm sorry to be shouting at you. Usually I'd have a PA and we wouldn't have to scream, but this is actually quite a quiet corner of the hall, right? So thank goodness we don't have some slot machines right here. Otherwise we'd have to go to the bar. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask?